Welcome back to another episode of Healthy Happy Hour here with Neighborhood Medical Center. I am Joseph Ward and joined by Mr. Matthias Sweet. How you doing, Matthias?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Joe?
We are doing well. We are fresh off of the 31st annual Tallahassee AIDS Walk. It occurred yesterday at the Railroad Square Art District. It was amazing. We're going to have pictures and footage and everything for you. Just give me time to do some editing and just give us time to actually be home and we can get those things for you. But we do want to make sure we give you a recap of the 31st annual Tallahassee AIDS Walk. We also want to give thanks to Big Ben Cares, Vaughn Community Health Center, Leon County Health Department, all the agencies that came out to support us yesterday. It was an amazing event. Thank you to the Craft House. Thank you to Railroad Square Art District, Tallahassee, period, Second Harvest, all of the organizations. If I'm forgetting your organization, please forgive me, but we want to thank everybody.
We can't forget, you got, what is it, Current Health, Milton Clinical Pharmacy, we got Gilead.
Yes, Gilead Sciences, our voter registration team.
Without you guys, we couldn't have done this event and hold it off, so we really want to, at least give you your props and shout outs to you, but without you guys, we are nothing. Without the community, we are nothing. And that goes back to our theme for that week was we are one community. Right. So if without the community, we can't do what we do. So we want to thank everybody who came out, who wanted to come out but couldn't come out, who just gave donations, who sent up prayers, because we had to have a lot of prayer for that so it wouldn't rain yesterday.
Yes.
I just want everybody out there, even if you couldn't come, you supported in some way of wanting to be there or just finding out about it. But we thank everybody for any effort that they put towards it.
And also do want to thank Commissioner Jeremy Matlow, thank Vache Aviance, want to thank Michael Alonzo with Gilead Sciences, as well as Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Geraldine Ward, who are our special guests for telling their story. So thank
very amazing, by the way.
Yes, thank you, everybody. So today is Friday. It's not our normal day, but hey, it's all good. We're gonna end the week great. Today's Friday. I'm feeling healthy and I'm feeling happy, and I have an hour to tell you about it. And we have a special guest, Miss Karen Strange, who is the Library Special Services Coordinator for Literacy, and she's usually located at the main library, but with her job, she does get a chance to travel around to different library branches here in Leon County. And she's going to tell us more about the services that the Leon County Public Library has, as well as the health literacy program that's available, and just all the different services available. Did you know? That's the thing for this. Did you know? So welcome, Miss Karen. Welcome.
Thank you. It is fabulous to be here. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk to you and talk to your audience. Literacy is very important to me, and health literacy is important to everyone here today. We do have a lot of activities coming up for Health Literacy Month. A lot of people may not realize October is Health Literacy Month. And so for the entire month, we're going to have a lot of programs going on at the library. Some are going to be in person out of the Eastside Library branch, but we're going to have a couple of things on Zoom too. I think people still aren't feeling 100% comfortable with large gatherings inside buildings. Yeah. So we're trying to be safe, but also to have some fun and learn some things.
Okay. Yeah. So before we get into the different programs, especially health literacy programs, kind of start with basic things with the library. Like, how do you get a library card? How do you become affiliated with the library? How can someone get into the library, rent books, be able to do all these things in this new digital age? Has anything changed from the 90s?
Yeah, a lot has changed from the 90s, I would think. One thing, to get a library card, you don't even have to come to the library. If you go to the library website, there is right there a button that you can click on to get a library card. You can, and you can do it immediately. You'll immediately get a library card number, which you can then download the library app to your phone, and you'll have that number in your phone, and you never actually have to have a card. They will send you a physical card, but it's nice to have that app right there on your phone. You can use it to check things out. We also have apps for downloading books and audio. We have Canopy, which is for watching movies, documentaries, things like that. So theoretically, you could make full use of the library without ever stepping foot in the library. But you will come here. Yeah. Excuse me, sorry.
I said, where was this at when we were in school?
I'm telling you.
To get a library card, you go to the they don't have the book, or it's out of stock, or you can watch movies and documentaries. We had to go in there and go through the little things to look at the old newspaper. You tell me we ain't gotta do that no more?
I'm sorry, you don't have to do that. It's crazy. Yeah, it's wild. It's this has been very useful for people who don't feel comfortable coming into a public space. They can do just about everything that they need to do from home or even from outside the library. We have free Wi-Fi, and we actually have a lot of people that will come to the library but just hang out in the parking lot. Yes. Or one of the benches around the library. We have some nice areas around some of those, and just make use of the library services from there. It's a great service, and a lot of people aren't aware that we have this, which I want to point out, library card is free. Yeah, it is 100% free. And the only thing, if you are not, if you look at the website, there are a few specifications. If you are not a Leon County resident, then they do charge you some. Unless you're going to school here, then it's also free. Then, or if you certain jobs that you have with the county, things like that. So it's fabulous. Yeah,
that is amazing. And I guess it had to change with the times too, because the millennials, everything is done on a computer, through an app, through their cell phone. So I like the fact that it is going with the times, but I'm still kind of stuck. I'm a little older, so I'm a little stuck on. I had to go in there with my little card. You can only check out 3 books at a time, and just come back. And if you really need to do research, you had to go in there and sit there with all the books like this on the table. So that's amazing. You can be done online, and you can read it on a phone or on a computer. That is amazing.
Well, go ahead.
I pulled up the site now, and as soon as we get through, I'm getting me a new library card.
Yes, get a new library.
I've had a library card, Joe, since I don't know how long ago.
Oh, get a library. There's just so much that you can do with your library card. I really like the Canopy, where you can watch the movies and DVDs, but also just downloading books. I just got a notification on my phone that I have 2 books that I need to download. They're now available. I had them on hold. And one thing that I like, I work in the library. I've worked here for 15 years. And but I have ruined so many of my physical library cards because I will forget that I have it in my pocket, and then it ends up going through the washing machine or something like that. Now I have the app on the phone, and I have yet to ruin that.
Right. I got a question though, because you said to download. So I don't have to return the book?
That's right. You do not have to
download the book and keep it?
Yes. Well, it will magically disappear after 3 weeks. But you don't have to worry about returning it. You don't have to worry about overdue fines or anything like that. Or losing it, or your dog eating it, which that has happened to me a couple of times. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the books and the movies will download on the app?
Yeah, absolutely. Uh-huh. And we have
a regular computer, or
you can watch. Yeah, you can watch it on your computer. You can watch it on your phone. The Canopy I like to watch on my computer. Books, I download them to my Kindle. If you have a tablet, you can download them to whatever device you have. It's amazing.
So remember, everybody, the app is Canopy, and it's available in regular.
It's just if you go to whatever, like the Play Store or wherever, if you just go Leon County Library, it will pull that up. We do have a separate app, the Libby app, Libby, for downloading books and things like that. And they're getting ready. I'm not 100% sure when this is going to happen, but a lot of things are going to be merged into the Libby app. And just one time you pull it up. Both of the apps are free, of course. And you just have to put in your library card number, and then you are good to go. So start out with the Leon County Library and then Libby, Libby. And of course, if you have any issue whatsoever, just call the library and somebody will talk you through it. We do this all the time. And, if you have whatever kind of device you have, you want to download to, we can help you do that as well.
So I do have this question, because we have a main library downtown. Then we have our different branches. Mm-hmm. I grew up on the south side of Tallahassee, so I was used to either going to the main library or the library on South Adams.
The Dr. B.L. Perry Jr.
Yes.
Yeah.
So does each branch offer different services depending on the community that surrounds them, or they all pretty much the same services?
We have a lot of services that are overall throughout all the libraries, but we do have special things that we'll offer at particular library branches. Right now, because of the pandemic, things are a little bit unusual. Let's just say that we're living in unusual times.
Yes.
But we do try and depending on the community, it could be. I know the Dr. B.L. Perry branch, for years we had our homework hub was based there.
Yes.
And now everything has moved online with that, but they are going to move to having more things in person as it gets safer and as people feel comfortable doing that. So we'll have the homework hub will be available both on Zoom and also at B.L. Perry in person.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So my library card will work at any one of the libraries here in Leon County?
Yeah, we're all one system. And actually, even the main library, we consider a branch. It's the main branch. And so they're all branch libraries, and we're all connected. And I was saying earlier before we were recording that, let's say that you are at the library website, you're in the catalog, you find some book that you want, and it's at Fort Braden. You don't want to drive all the way out to Fort Braden library to pick up this book. You don't have to. You just put it on hold, and the courier, they will bring it to whatever library branch you want to pick it up at. So if you wanted to pick it up at the B.L. Perry branch, you pick it up there.
So like if I had to say I return a book, I could return to any one of the branches?
Return to any of the branches. Return it to any of the branches. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The library has also, so they've also come into the digital age with us.
Well, and now I'm gonna blow your minds a little bit, I think, if you're because one of the things we have coming up with the new fiscal year is the Library of Things, which we do already have this summer. We have telescopes. Did you know you could check out a telescope at the library?
No.
Yes, you can check.
My mom would love that.
Exactly. But we're going to even expand that more. I don't know all the details yet of everything that we're getting, but it is a library of things. And we're going to have all sorts of things that people will be able to check out. I personally am hoping for a tile saw, but we'll see. I have some home repairs to take care of. I don't want to have to rent a tile saw. But we're also hoping to get things like kayaks. That's a grant that we're hoping to apply for, and hopefully we'll be able to get some kayaks, and we'll be able to do some programming around the Florida waterways. We're really hoping that that's going to be a reality one day. And some of these things are planned out. It may be a few months, it may even be a couple of years. But for example, the telescopes, we have them now. Let's say that you also have some friends and you want to do a book club. We have the traveling book club. So you can check out a bag of books for everybody in your book club. And you can, and we have that on the website too. We have that now. But other things for the Library of Things, there's, and we're looking to have a makerspace as well. So with some really fancy podcasting stuff, for example, that people may not be able to afford on their own, they could come and use a little studio with us. And so keep an eye out. This is things that are going to be happening in the next year or so. That's
great. That is wonderful, especially for us, because we're in the podcast space now. And so I'm going to tease his face when you said about the equipment, because we understand how equipment is
Expensive it
needed
is.
and the price.
Oh yeah, it is. It's it's expensive equipment, and you may not need it. It's not something that you need probably every single day. It's not something that you're using 8 hours a day. So if it was
Right.
available at the library, that you could just reserve a time.
That we use, yeah.
And see, I like that idea because it gives kids avenues to sit there and say, I really want to try this, but I don't have the money to do this. Or
Exactly.
I like science and I want to learn more about science and go through, and I don't have the money to get a telescope. I mean, not telescope,
A microscope or anything. Yeah.
anything like that, because it gives them a chance to say, do I really want to like this before I beg my mom and dad to say, Mom, Dad, I really want to do this. And I
Yeah.
think if a lot of parents saw this and say, oh, hey, I want to go on radio or I want to go into science, I can actually go to the library and check, is this something you really want to do?
Exactly. Yeah.
The money, and then that way, and I like that. Will somebody be there to help assist them on using it and learning how to do those different tools?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will have people that are, we're going to have people that, some people will be in charge of a particular device or particular things. And so they'll be our main go-to person. But the idea is that everybody that works in the library will be trained, at least basically, on how to do these things.
I got one more question. I'm always full of questions.
No, I love answering questions about
the microscope. Are y'all providing slides and stuff, or do I need to bring my own slides to see what stuff really is, or how does all that work? Because you have sparked the interest with me with this microscope.
Yeah, well, we don't have the microscopes yet. So, and that's one of the things, for example, that we're going to look at. And we're just starting to get into this. So we would take community feedback. We would say, yeah, you know what? Microscopes are popular, but people want to have different slides, of prepared slides. It could be you want to have, a whole set of slides that you would want to look at. This is what a drop of water from Lake Jackson looks like, or something like that, or blood cell, or there's a lot of different things you could do with that, just depending on whatever it is that your interest is.
Okay.
That's a very good point. So we may have to pull you onto one of our committees for a plan.
Get pulled into something else, Joe. But, I mean, I just think it's cool to sit there and say they have these things, because when we're looking back when we were born, because I was born in the 80s, so it's like, when I look back, we didn't have half of this stuff. The library, you had a paper copy, and I think we really just got to the little thing where they started scanning the newspapers and stuff on the screen, and you go through the little click, and it's just in black and white. And so those are the things that you know what I'm saying, seeing the evolution and the involved that it has grown, it's just amazing. And it's just like, it's a place I would want to go now to hang out at the library, because I could go play with the podcast equipment, I can go play with the telescope, microscopes, I can, and somebody that can teach me. And I think that's what a lot of the kids are gonna like and enjoy.
Exactly. We do have some special activities for teens. If you have any teens in your audience, we're always recruiting for our teen advisory board, which helps plan some of the programming that we have. Teens, I know a lot of teens these days, they need to get some community service hours in order to get scholarships and things like that, or for a particular class they're taking. We have tons of teen volunteers in the library. Working on the teen advisory board would count towards that. Or I just mentioned the homework hub. We always need volunteer tutors for that. So,
so y'all provide tutors for homework?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I should have explained that. Homework hub. Yeah, if you have a kid that needs help with their homework, or they have a school project, something like that, they're just struggling, we have volunteer tutors that will help them with whatever it is they need help with.
Joe, you know how many times we done sat down trying to figure out how to work these kids' homework assignment or project, and it's somebody to help them out?
Well, that's why we do this. That's why we created this platform, because we knew just working in the community, how many agencies and how many people are providing so many services to people in Tallahassee. But if you don't know, you don't know, and that's a problem.
I mean, this is amazing. She has floored me with the new advancements with you helping kids with homework. Like, you know how many parents struggle every day trying to get people with homework when they start getting into this algebra, geometry, all these dang histories and everything else. So it's just like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great program. It is popular with the parents. We have the kids love it.
And that's at each location, or is it certain locations?
Right now it's via Zoom, just because pandemic. But we are looking to move slowly back into doing some in-person tutoring right now at the B.L. Perry Branch Library and here at the main. And
what hours are those, like the tutoring session, or how do they go? They go on the website and sign up?
Yeah, if you go again to the library website, there is a special tab that's for Homework Hub.
Yes.
And if you click on that, there's just a form you fill out just to get some basic information, contact information about the child, what they need help with, what grade they're in, that sort of thing. And then the coordinator will contact the parent or the caregiver, whoever, and then set up a time for tutoring. Usually it's, we have in the afternoons when school's out. So from 3 until 6, basically it's Homework Hub time. I know there is some talk about expanding the hours into the evening, and it's just a matter of finding the space for it and being able to have that on Zoom. Our Zoom channels right now are pretty full. So we're trying to encroach into someone else's Zoom time. We don't want to mess up one of the book clubs. You don't want to anger the book club members.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made our day already, which is what you're saying. Okay, so
excellent. That's what I want to do.
Okay, so the library's health literacy.
Yeah.
Could you explain that to us?
So it's part of the overall literacy program, and we applied for a grant with Florida Literacy Coalition and Florida Blue. And we received the grant, and so they give us money. It's a wonderful thing. They give us money to do health literacy programming and to provide some, I'll just tell you now, I'm going to show you. This is our health literacy swag bag. And these will be available beginning in October 5th is the actual day. And in there's some fun things. Let's see, I think you two will appreciate this. Some information about getting your vaccinations. And yeah, of course, COVID is a big topic right now, but there's others, that adults need. This is geared really towards adults in this case, because so many people just don't seem to be aware that as an adult, you still have to get those boosters. You have to get the tetanus and whooping cough and things like that. And of course, the flu thing coming up. And then on the back of it, we have Leon County has their vaccination sites and testing sites for COVID on that. So start out with that. And we also have more from the county, but Parks and Rec, they said, oh yeah, we got to include this. You can get this online, but we're going to have it here in a nice little postcard format. All the parks and greenways that Leon County has, there are tons of them. And then on the back, also campgrounds, community centers, and boat ramps. So when we get those kayaks, right? So we're going to have kayaks in our library of things. You can go there. Also, because we are living in stressful times, we have a little heart stressful. And thank you. Yeah. And giving everyone a pedometer.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're also going to have a few other things. I'm still putting these swag bags together, but one thing, the National Institutes of Health, they were kind enough to send me several copies of this, which is healthy eating, basically. Has some really great information in there about food, how to have a healthier diet. And so this is one of the things that we're going to do with this health literacy grant. So this is some of the actual things that we have gotten with that. We've also, the main part of it, the grant is actually also paying for some coursework. We just had 12 of the learners in our program, in the literacy program, have been certified with CPR and AED. Yeah, and give a shout out to a friend of mine, Linda Tiefel. She is a ER trained nurse, but she also does training for teaching people how to do the CPR and AED and other things. So she came and did the trainings for us at no charge, no cost for her. We just had to pay for the materials. So that worked out real well. So we're trying to be, wise stewards of the grant money, and so luckily a lot of community partners have helped us out. Coming up, we're going to have presentations by the University of Florida IFAS program. They have some great people working for them. Nutritionist Amy Mullins is going to do a presentation about nutrition. And while she's giving the presentation, she is going to be making her famous salsa. She makes like the best salsa, I think, in the universe. And she's going to show everyone how to do that. We're going to include in the bag also her recipe for doing that. Mark Tanzig's going to give us a tour. This is going to be one of our live in-person events out at the East Side Library Branch. That's the one on Mahan and Pedrick. And there's a pond there. Pedrick Pond is there. So we're going to do an outdoor activity walking around the pond. And as we walk around, he's going to point out some of the different plants that are there, some of the interesting critters that are in the water. That pond has a ton of turtles. If you have kids, take them to this pond. They will love it. Just being able to see all the turtles, because they come right up to the top and check everyone out as you're walking by. And it's a great little trail. It's less than a mile, but it's part of our health literacy. When we were first planning some of the activities, Gina, who is one of my colleagues at the Eastside Library Branch, we looked at lots of different materials and research and decided on really 3 main topics. And one of them was just easy exercise, some nutrition, and then mental wellness. And for our last event that we're going to have in October, we're lucky that we are going to have 2 special guest speakers. One is Mr. Douglas Constancel from FAMU. Yeah, yes. That name might be a little bit familiar to you. Yeah. And, Helena Reed from 211 Big Bend. They're going to talk about mental wellness, and we're going to have a panel discussion about that. When we first started this with the grant, I did some pre-testing with the learners in the program just to see what, how they do, and there's a pre-test that the Florida Literacy Coalition provided. And it was amazing, the results. I was kind of surprised by them. Some things were not too surprising, but one was where to find healthcare. And I think that's how I originally got in touch with you, Joseph, about, making sure that they know that your facility exists, this is a great resource for people. And one of the other things that was reading medication labels and also nutrition. A lot of people miss questions about nutrition, particularly fiber questions, which really worried me. I didn't know about the fiber, but the medication labels, that really worried me because, if you don't take your medication properly, if you misread a label, that a lot of things can go horribly wrong. So we have, we're also going to have a special program with one of our former learners in our program. She came here from Egypt, and she was a pharmacist in Egypt, had to go through all the training again. Right. But became a pharmacist here in Florida. And so now she every year does a little presentation for the learners in our program about reading medication labels and understanding medication instructions and, what your pharmacist, what to talk to, your pharmacist about, and how important it is to really be on top of if there are any medications that you're taking. If you add something new to the mix, being careful about that. A couple other things that we looked at were the county health rankings. I don't know if you're familiar with that website. It's kind of interesting. It compares all over the United States. And Florida, we're pretty good. We're Leon County, especially. We're better than the rest of Florida generally. Utah, Colorado, we just cannot compete with them with anything. Right. Yeah, it's like Utah, Colorado. Yeah, but what was interesting was Leon County. I found it kind of astounding that we were lower in physical activity than the Florida average. And I thought, wow, okay, yeah, wait a minute, really? And it seems like we're kind of outdoorsy county kind of thing, but apparently, so that's one of I thought, well, let's include some ways to get some outdoor activity, get some things that you could do that are easy. That was also one of my thoughts was, I'm sure you've heard the phrase that perfect is the enemy of good. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, unless I can, ride this bicycle perfectly or, have the proper, everything, then I better not do it. And no, just go walk around the Pedrick Pond a little bit, go look at the turtles, and just doing things like that can be really helpful. Another thing we looked at was America's health rankings, which it was one thing in there, particularly pre-pandemic, in the 2017 to 2019 rankings, 19.5% of Floridians had reported that their mental health was not good in the last 14 days of the last month, that kind of thing. This was pre-pandemic. Meanwhile, of course, we had all of this, and talking to the learners and even the tutors, the volunteers in the program, I keep in touch with them constantly, and everyone has reported having mental, distress.
I bet.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to put that in there. So we're kind of concentrating on those three things with the health literacy program, but we throughout the year we're doing other things too. We've also had we did a water safety presentation. That one is kind of near and dear to my heart. I'm a scuba diver, and and I actually do that one. I am a certified rescue diver, and I'm always astounded when I tell people I'm a diver. They say, "Oh yeah, dive in springs and dive in the ocean," and people are always worried about sharks and alligators.
Yeah.
And I point out during my presentation that in the last who knows how many years, 0 people in Florida have been killed by sharks and 0 people have been killed by alligators. But just for example, in 2019, 21 people were killed by rip currents.
Right.
Yeah. So that's rip currents, that's what you have to watch out for if you're at the ocean. You really have to watch out for those. And personally, jellyfish. If there's a jellyfish anywhere in the water or on the beach, I'm going to find it and step on it.
I run from those. Those things, if you've been stung one good time by a jellyfish, you'll never want it again.
Exactly. Well, and that's one of the things I talk about, how to avoid it, but also what to do if you do get stung by one. Just as this is, a lot of people don't know this, vinegar. If you put vinegar on a jellyfish sting, it's gone.
Really? I thought it was something else.
Yes, you've heard that, and it's not true. Vinegar. So one of the things we did for that particular presentation, everybody got a little bottle of vinegar to take to the beach with them. Yeah, when they go.
Just regular vinegar?
Just regular vinegar. Yeah. Just whatever. I mean, you can use the fancy.
Okay.
You can use the fancy rice wine vinegar if you want to, but you don't have to. Just regular. We gave everybody just vinegar from whatever. It comes in the giant jug. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Vinegar.
So with the health literacy program,
mm-hmm.
like how long did it take to develop, and like what were you a part of the original conversations to create this? Yes.
And this actually, a few years ago, we had gotten a similar grant, and we did some programs that were similar to this, and then from that was kind of a learning experience. That it was all right. These are some things we probably need to concentrate on, and these are some things that we probably don't need to concentrate on so much. But every year is different, of course, and that's why I always try, particularly with our program, we have about 70 learners in our program. This includes adult literacy learners and also ESL, English as a second language learners. There are people that doing everything from trying to improve their English language skills to trying to get a GED or trying to improve their reading skills, pass a workplace test. There's people are doing all kinds of things. But doing a lot of research with them, asking them, what do you have problems with? And their volunteer tutors help with this too, asking them questions and going over some of the health literacy topics with them and seeing what people are struggling with. And it's always, some things are predictable. Talking with a a doctor, for example, if you're a non-native English speaker, that can be pretty confusing. It can be confusing if you are a native English speaker sometimes. Like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So trying to get that information and then looking in the community, broader, outside of that, the library community, what people really need, what seems to be the things that people are unsure about, things that people just are not, or that they're struggling with. And again, going back to some of the, I keep throwing up charts and things like that, but there is so much good research out there that shows that particularly people that with lower literacy skills, so less than a high school diploma, we'll do that, they always have worse health literacy outcomes. And no matter what. And again, trying to kind of, instead of doing everything, we say health literacy, and from your jobs, it's everything. So we try to just go focus in on a few things that we could do, and I think particularly for the month of October, we've picked some good topics, and these were the top 3, let's say that, between asking the learners. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
That was my question. Like, what type of literacy issues are you seeing? Is it just reading, writing, or just math, or it's just people just not comprehending? Or I mean, what type of literacy issues are we facing here in Leon County? Because when you say literacy issues, it could be a broad spectrum. So
yeah, and
what are the literacy issues we see here in Leon County?
I would say yes to everything. It depends on the person. We have some people that come to us that, they did go to high school. They did. And we even have some people that maybe they did go to college, but it's been a long time ago, and they're trying to do something new, and they may have forgotten some of the skills, particularly when it comes to math. If you're trying to, let's say that you're wanting to go into a new job, you're wanting to maybe go for a different type of degree, even that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, algebra, I don't remember any of that. So somebody may need help with that. We do have some people that have also, though, very low, what we think of traditional literacy skills. And we have people in our program that had started out, we would say, anyone met very low literacy skills, basically can't read above like a 3rd grade level, if that. They stay in our program for a while, work with the tutor, and just work their way up every year. We have some people that started out like that. Now they have just transitioned on. They've gotten a GED through our program. Then we have some that have gone on to college. We have some in college right now that started out in our program with low literacy skills. Mm-hmm. And we have plenty of people, though, that also are working on something specific. They, again, a workplace test that comes up. They want to go into a particular field, and there's a test that you'll have to take, whether it's to be a CNA or to go into, some people want to go into like a nursing program, for example, and there's the pre-test that you have to take for that and things like that. And it can be daunting to take a huge test like that if you haven't done that in a while. And even if you have done it fairly recently, it can still be kind of daunting. We have people in our program, non-native English speakers, that need to improve their English language skills. We also have people that they've been here for a while and they're ready to become U.S. citizens. The U.S. Citizenship Exam, I don't know if you've ever taken a look at that. It's, I always say most. Excuse me?
I said, y'all help with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's we every year we have multiple people that work with tutors in our program to
and they have to be a Leon County resident?
No.
Heard.
If somebody can get here, that's all that matters to us. Yeah, that's
okay.
And I actually do. That is something that improves our whole broader community. So anybody that needs help, if you have someone, I can send them, for example, the some curriculum that I have developed over the years that helps
I
people.
know a lot of people who are trying to get U.S. citizenship here, or they're undocumented, and just finding, because trying to look out on our own, we don't know what to look for, where to go, what to do. And even I have some family members that need some assistance with that. And I'm just, I don't know where to go or where to start.
Right now, one good place to start, particularly with some of these, if there's legal issues involved, the FSU, the Center for the Advancement of Human Rights.
Okay.
FSU Center for the Advancement of Human Rights. They are so on this. They are fabulous people. I'm going to give another shout out to one of my colleagues there. Her name is Vanya. And yeah, Vanya will, she knows everything. I just talked to her the other day. But yeah.
Like, I really did not know that the library does all this stuff. I thought you just go check out books.
Well, you can check out books too. We have like
That's all I thought y'all did was like really go check out books and read books there. You might, go there to study for a group project or something.
Yeah.
It's amazing on what you guys do.
Exactly. And just real quick, I want to point, we were talking about things. I don't think I mentioned the magazines and the things that you can download. We now have, I don't know how many hundreds of magazines that you can read on your computer, on your tablet, on your phone, whatever. And same thing with the same apps. So
that's
good.
Yeah, I just
making it more reading accessible for the community, because that's the one thing that I notice about some of the generations is people really don't read books no more. They don't read. They don't, get updates. But there's no reason why you shouldn't be updated. There's no reason why you shouldn't have knowledge of things, because, like you said, you go on an app and download the book for free. Like,
exactly.
you pay for the book and you can still read the book.
Yeah.
Utilize that service. Read magazines. Update. Sometimes the magazines aren't really, good reading material for some people, but some people, it just helps with your reading skills and just keeps you abreast on what's going on.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we have so many magazines. There's going to be something that interests just about everybody. And I've had people tell me recently that they've actually started reading more since they've been able to read things on their phone, because it's just so convenient for them. If you're having to wait in line somewhere, let me read this a little bit, and they'll have a book downloaded or a magazine, all kinds of things.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the website now, and I'm looking at the different apps and all of these things.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a lot of resources. What's the website, just for people, so they know the Leon County Public Library website? Yeah,
the easiest way to get there is just leonlibrary.org. Yeah.
leonlibrary.org.
Yeah. But if you just go Google Leon County Library or Leon Library, it'll pull it up immediately.
Yeah. You can search through the website. It's a whole lot of resources.
Oh, there's tons of resources. If you look at the calendar, if you see on the left-hand side, there'll be the calendar, and you can pull up the all event calendar, and you can see everything that's taken place. The homework hub, we were just talking about that. You can see the exact days and times, and if you click on it, it'll give you a link to sign up for that. There's also all kinds of events that are coming up, and you can click on any of those calendar listings, and it'll give you more information about them, whether or not it's an in-person or a Zoom event. We have the story times for the different age groups. So yeah, those, and some are available in person, some on Zoom, and the calendar tells you that. Any of the special events we have coming up, seems like every week we have different events, and we have some are in person, some again are on Zoom, just depending on what the event is. And there's book clubs. If you do like to read books and you're interested, there are different book clubs that are available. Some are like the history book club. If you're interested in reading about, history, there's a book club for that. If you like to read there's a lot of us adults that like to read the young adult fiction. Yeah. And there's a book club for that. Yeah. Or if you think there might be a good topic for another book club, we like community input. Tell us what you'd like to see. Tell us what you'd like to read. Yeah.
And people can also hold meetings at those facilities, like down in the in the main library. They have like meeting rooms.
All the libraries. Yeah.
Y'all check it out. Like the library is where it's at now.
Yeah, I mean, actually, all the library branches have some meeting room available. Most have a program room. Some have a small conference room. Here at the mainland, we do have the big program rooms, and we have smaller conference rooms, and we also have even smaller rooms if you're just looking to study, things like that. But yeah, and we sometimes even have events just out in the library itself. So not all programming takes place in the program rooms.
Right.
So yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. We definitely are excited. And
I want you both to get library cards. I want you to tell everybody to get a library card.
I'm going to download one on the internet.
Oh, I'm signing up.
Yeah. It's so easy. It's free. It is a community, and there's so much that you can do with it. And it's not just the books. It's everything. And you can, we're going to have our library of things here. We're going to have a 3D printer, which, we're still doing some testing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did a little bit of testing with it just to see. And so some things have worked out better than others. We're still working on it. We're working on getting that before we release it into the wild, so to speak, to make sure it works. Make sure we know what we're doing before we do. But there's going to be, I know there's a lot of talk about the different things we're going to get, or there's going to be some sewing machines, but there's also going to be some different tools. I mentioned, I'm hoping for the tile saw, but we'll see if that happens.
Somebody get some work done over there. She's trying
I'm telling you. Well, who wants it? But it could also just be some power tools. If you maybe you need one. It would be nice to have a power drill, if you're doing some projects around your house. But you don't want to go and spend a ton of money at Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever for one project that you're doing. Yeah,
that's what you need. A power drill.
Yeah, exactly. And so all kinds of things. We've had a lot of suggestions from the public, and we'll just see what the people on that committee end up coming up with. I'm very excited. It's just, like I said, we have the telescopes now. We have other things that are definitely planned. The library is having in place, and get a card. It's you live here. You should have that. It's part of the services that the county provides, and it's probably one of the best resources. Whether just as you've seen, if we're talking about this, no matter what it is that you're trying to do or wanting to find out about, the library, either we have it, we know about it, or we will help you find it.
Yes.
Yeah. We have our reference librarians. The people that is their job. They are amazing. The things that they can find, and we think, oh, just go Google. They have all sorts of secret ninja tricks. Let me tell you. Whatever you need, they'll find it.
So, Miss Karen, somebody sees this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you told them to go to the website, but they want to learn from you. They want to get in contact with you. How do people get in contact with you?
The easiest way is really just, you can come to the library. Come to the library. Or, you can call me. We're 850-606-2644. That's the direct literacy line at the library. They can find me. They can also just send me an email. It's pretty easy to remember. Strange K. That's at leoncountyfl.gov. Mm-hmm. But if you go to the
superhero email right there.
Exactly. That's
you won't forget that.
Yeah.
We definitely appreciate you once again, because we in our partnering with you guys over the last couple of months and being able to provide COVID tests. The libraries were able to talk more and learn more about what each organization does. And we're like, well, we need to work together and help each other. And that's how this happened. And this is just the beginning of a lot more of collaborations
Yes.
with us, with you guys. Do a lot of great work, and we want to make sure that we acknowledge you for everything that you guys do. So we thank you and the whole Leon County Library staff. And Tallahassee and surrounding areas, you need to be at the library. It's the place to be.
It is the place to be. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you so much for having me on here today. I really enjoyed it and enjoyed talking about health literacy. And I hope people will come to our programs. Again, check out the calendar. We're on there.
Yes.
October 5th is a kickoff. And then we're going to have another one the 19th and on the 26th. But remember, the swag bags will be available, boom, at the beginning of October. And anybody needs any help with anything vaguely related to literacy, or even you're trying to get a GED, you're trying to do a workplace test, whatever, call me, come visit me, send me an email, whatever it takes. Yeah, come visit us. And just thank you so much for letting us do this. It's great. I love your podcast. I have to say that. I do. I had to watch some. And I've really enjoyed being here today. I have.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. You're on mute. You muted yourself.
How did I do that? Okay. See, I'm a little literacy on the computer. I need a little help on that.
We actually do have help with that.
Oh, Lord. So it's just making sure, thank you. I really want to take the time out to really thank you, because you opened my eyes to a lot that I didn't know about the library. So if I didn't know it and I go to the library here or there, and saying in school, but just knowing all the different things, and it makes it even more magical sometimes, because you have the library of things.
Yes.
You think about Harry Potter or some magical thing, just like the magic, like the room of, I can't remember what it is, but
requirement. The room of requirement.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just those type of things. It just makes it more fun for you to go and explore and see what really is going on out there.
Yep. Let me throw out one more thing, because you had to mention the magical stuff, and we just missed it. But every summer we have Cosmicon. We do have all kinds of fun magical things happening at the library, including people coming in costume, and we have
We don't hear about that stuff. Is there a Facebook page or Instagram page?
Yeah, there is. The library has a great Facebook. We're on Facebook and Instagram. So go follow that, because we did have a Harry Potter trivia night too. And that was, there were prizes. I'm sorry.
Cool.
You missed them.
It's okay. I'll catch the next one.
The next one. We had gaming. Yeah.
We're going to follow you guys. Definitely.
Please do. And so next year it'll be coming up. And there's just every year Cosmicon is all kinds of fun craziness. At the library.
Library. Y'all go check out this library now. I want to hear from y'all and make sure y'all done went and check out. You go online, get your free library card.
That's right.
You gotta go out the company. You can zoom the library at home. Get off Facebook for a second and zoom on the library page and check out a book or something.
There you go.
And this is why we do this Healthy Happy Hour. This is why we created our media platform, so we can connect with the resources and the people who are in our community who are doing great things.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you, Miss Karen Strange from the Leon County Public Library. Thank you. He's Matthias Sweet. I am Joseph Ward, and this is Healthy Happy Hour, and we'll see you guys next month.
All right. Y'all take it easy.